First question. Can you talk about your training schedules, roles, which is jiu-jitsu training sessions? We call them roles.
Was that for me? Are you explaining to me what roles is?
For everyone.
All right.
In the event of them not knowing.
We be rolling.
So can you talk about your training schedules, your roles, and what is a typical week? What does that look like?
Well, for me, I work out every day. So what that means every morning, I wake up early and I get it on. I lift weights. I do calisthenics. I do some kind of sprinting evolution.
7 days a week.
7 days a week. And as I've explained to many people on the Twitter, they say, don't you ever take a day off? And I do, but I don't plan to take days off. Days off, life brings days off. You got the broken water heater. You got the sick kids. You got sick. Mm-hmm. You got the car broke down. You got the event at school, whatever it is. There's some reason. There's some travel plans that don't allow it. So life will give you days off. Mm-hmm. So don't take off days voluntarily. Don't do that. Mm-hmm. Let the days off come through life. And then you don't have to freak out about them. You just go, oh, cool, I got a day off, day to rest. Cool, I'm going to travel, or I'm going to miss a workout today. Just going to take it as a day of rest. Mm-hmm. So, but I do. I work out every day. And part of that is going off of instinct of what I feel like, of what type of workout I'm going to do. Mm. And by that, sometimes I mean, I don't feel like doing a certain kind of workout. Therefore, I'm going to do it because it's punishment for being weak. Right. And then there's times where I'm like, you know what? I do not want to do that kind of workout today because I feel an impending injury.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to lift real heavy today. No, not today. I'm tight. I'm sore. I'm going to not do that type of workout today. So it's a little combination of instinct and discipline versus freedom of, you know what, this is going to be too much for me today. I don't want to lift heavy today, or I don't feel it. Sometimes I feel like lifting heavy. Right. In other words, I'm maybe drained. I'm drained to do some kind of an endurance type workout or a Metcon. So I'm just going to go in there and just do some singles. But then some days you feel, I don't feel like putting any heavy weight up today. I'm going to go in there and do something lighter, but maybe higher repetitions and that type of things. So I'm doing that every day, calisthenics. Sometimes I'm doing a combination of all three. Sometimes I'm doing one. So that's just how I'm getting after it. And again, I think at some point I'm going to write an ebook because the publishing process in the publishing world is a real pain. And
an ebook's not.
An ebook is easier. It's easier to do. You do it. You produce it. You put it through Amazon, and Amazon just says, "Oh, cool, you sell them. We sell them. I could sell them for like $3."
Oh, dang!
And then anyone who wants them could just get it. And it doesn't have to be, I don't feel bad if I don't, if it's not it's something that I could do the way I wanted to do. I don't have to make it a certain length. No, it's $3. Huh. It's 28 pages. That's the information I have. Yeah. It's not, if someone said, hey, Jocko, we want you to write a fitness book, then that's got to be 127 pages and it's got to have a bunch of things in it that I don't want to talk about. Because it's not that complicated, right? So 27 pages, ebook, download it, print it out. Everybody can have it. Costs $3. People are stoked. We're all good. People can stop asking me what my workouts are like because everybody wants to know that. I don't know why. I'm not, some incredible athlete, So here's my workouts. And so that's what I'm thinking of doing. Then again, I've been thinking about actually getting someone and saying, hey, you seem like a capable human. Help me write a little ebook. I'm going to tell you what to put in it, and you do it.
Why? So it sounds dope or whatever?
No. Just so it gets done. Because now I'm just busy. Right. Too busy for the fitness ebook right now.
Yeah.
So I got to move that up. I got to move that up on my chart because I know people want to get at that. Okay, so then on top of the working out, there's the surfing, which if there's waves, I'm surfing. Right? That's just the way it goes. If there's good waves, I'm surfing. There's not always good waves, but if there's waves, I'm surfing. One thing I need to do more of is just go out and paddle. I need to do that more. Just go out so you're constantly in shape because paddling a surfboard is a different kind of conditioning than anything else. Yeah, just to be in shape for paddling. Nice. Kind of like I've been saying, hey, if you want to get good at humping a rucksack, then just hump a rucksack. And if you want to get good at doing pull-ups, do pull-ups. Well, if you want to be good at paddling a surfboard, you got to paddle a surfboard. Yeah. So you always feel weak when the big waves come and you haven't surfed in a while, and you feel weak because you haven't been paddling. You've lacked the discipline. So I should be paddling more. And then we get to the jiu-jitsu.
The rolls.
The jiu-jitsu. So I roll. If I'm home, I'm going to the gym and I'm training. We usually do some technique. I usually get a little something from Jeff or from Dean. And, Dean and Jeff, what's crazy is you can always learn something. And it still freaks me out.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, when I say learn something, I'm not like saying that they're teaching me some new variation to the go-go plancha. Right?
Yeah.
No, they're teaching, like Dean will say, hey, when you put the guillotine on over here, make this adjustment. Or when you're passing the guard, do this here. Like some simple thing. Or I remember Jeff Glover I said, hey, Jeff, teach my son the Darce choke. And I just watched him give my son, like a 7-minute class on the Darce choke. Now my son, can you imagine you're 9 years old and you're getting a personal class on the Darce choke from Jeff Glover? But my son, he just thinks that's normal. Right. But I'm watching and I remember Jeff was just going over little details and I was stuff that I did not know.
Jocko relearning the Darce choke.
Relearning the Darce choke. And so there's always these little things. I always am surprised at the obviousness of those things. And actually it does happen occasionally in the other direction. Dean was going through a slump where he's really having a hard time passing my guard. And I just said, hey, man, you've been doing Y, just do X. And you could see, I saw in his face, because he has a mutant grappling mind. Like, I saw in his face, as soon as I told him that, it was like, bing, it was like connection made. And he instantly started passing my guard again. And I was, damn. But, you get these little obvious things. You get the learning. So I'm always trying to learn a little something. And then, there's the situational drills of going in. And then there's the reality. Here's the reality, man. I like to roll.
Yeah.
I like to roll. That's the reality of it. I enjoy training. Not starting in one position and going into, no, I like to train. That's what I like to do. That's what I love about jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So I like to roll, and I roll. And whenever I go in, my goal is to roll. Mm-hmm. And in the same way that I will, some nights I go in, like some days I go in or nights and normal night I just feel like rolling, so I go in and roll. Some days I'm like, you know what, man, I'm not feeling it today. Mm-hmm. And because I'm not feeling it today, I'm going to get it on. And I'll force myself.
That's kind of like when you're a kid and you start crying or something and your dad tells you, hey, I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah,
kind of like
it's
that,
like
right?
that.
Like,
it's
I don't really feel like it. Oh, you don't feel like it? I'll give you something to not feel good or whatever.
That's right. It is that. And like a couple weeks ago, I said to myself, I got there and I did not feel like rolling. And I said to myself, I'm not going to stop until everybody stops. And so, the last, so we start with 20 guys on the mat. And then after 3 rounds, there's, 15 guys or 16 guys on the mat. And then it's down to 10 and then 8 and then 4. And then it's me and one other guy. I'm like, looks like you got the last round, my friend. But I just did that to myself. It's a little form of exercising, a little discipline. But that being said, there's days where I go in and I don't feel it, and I don't feel it as a different sense that I have, which is today's not going to be a good day. Today I'm going to tweak something. Today I'm too wore down or whatever, and so I'll do some rolls, and then I'll just leave it at that. I won't force myself to stay on the mat forever. So I do. Again, I use that instinct of what I am feeling to make a decision on how it's going to go down.
It's funny. One day, Greg, he randomly, I came in, he was like, hey, I just feel like I'm going to break my toe today. Yeah, sounds weird, right? He said that.
Yeah.
I feel like it. And I was like, oh, yeah, you just feel that? And he's like, yeah, I just feel like it. That day, I broke my toe. I didn't really break it. It was like kind of dislocated or something like that, but that's weird, right? I know, way different point, but still. So my workouts, I'll go through it real fast. Different than yours. I work out average 5 days a week, but they're not everything all in one. So if I roll 3 days, I'll lift and do metcons and cardio and that kind of stuff 2 days.
Really?
Yeah. So
Dang.
So I don't do like
What do you do with all your free time, man?
make videos,
That's right.
hang with the fam.
So how many times a week do you train?
3.
Jiu-jitsu?
3, sometimes 2. Unless I'm like super busy, then 1.
Dang.
Yeah. But yeah, back when I was competing, I was doing 6.
Yeah.
And now it's like 2 days, not 2 days training, but I'll do running, lifting, conditioning.
Yeah.
And then a different session. I do jujitsu and whatever, that entails. Same thing as you, do some technique, but I'll typically, hey, how many rounds do you think, like on a typical day? Mm-hmm. You know how you'll do some technique, a typical class or training session, even you'll do some technique, maybe some drills.
6.
And then rounds, right? So you do 6 rounds. Yeah. That's solid. What, 5 minutes? 6 minutes?
Or 6-minute rounds. It's kind of like what I like.
It's strange because
one time we did the gym was closed, but we had an open mat, but it wasn't an open mat. It was like, hey, we're gonna train.
Yeah.
And we did.
Wait, we who?
Just
like
a bunch of people.
Guys.
You were probably there. I don't know. I don't remember. But we did 6 6-minute rounds, no gi, and then 6 6-minute rounds gi. Were you there that day?
Yeah.
I usually don't get tired.
Yeah.
I got tired that day.
Yeah.
I got tired that day.
Yeah. How's it? Okay, so I'd go to. I haven't been to Atos in I don't know a few months now, but I'd go there like when they're training for ADCC, and I'd go there once a week, once every 2 weeks, just for one. And so they do stuff like, and every single time I've been there, it's been one of these things. 6 tens, 6 rounds of 10 minutes each, 30 seconds in between one, and then 1 minute between the next one. It goes to, or 5 10-minute rounds. Oh no, 4 10-minute rounds, and then 1 20-minute round. Those you get tired.
Yeah,
for sure.
I have conditioning because when we do 20, like when Dean's getting ready for ACC or whoever we got that's doing the longer or the no time limit matches.
Yeah.
And I'm doing 20-minute rounds. 20-minute rounds, I'm just good to go in.
Yeah, I surprisingly handled. I was in good shape when I did it.
But I think it has to do with what we talked about the other day, where I'm not a really fast sprinter.
Right.
And I'm not a really fast runner. But if you put a rucksack on me, I can go for a long time.
Right.
And I think it's one of those, like I can grapple for a long time and not get tired.
Yeah, I think mine's psychological, where if I know it's 20 minutes, then I don't feel like, I don't know, confined, or I don't know. I feel like I can just handle.
The hardest thing that we do is like when we Shark Tank each other. Is when you're putting, I'll be in, or one of our guys that's competing will go in the middle, and you're getting a fresh guy every 2 minutes, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever the case may be. You're getting somebody fresh on you, and that's where you get tested.
Yeah, I would say a typical class though is like anywhere from a 5-minute round, 6-minute round, either 5 or 6 minutes, 3, 4 rounds. I'd say that's a typical, not a training for competition. Just this is what we're doing. If you go 4, 5, 6 rounds, that's kind of a lot of rounds compared to just the average. I think, in my experience.
Yeah, I feel like I got good training at like 6-minute rounds. That's where I feel good.
Yeah,
that's 36.
Solid.
Yeah. It's almost 40 something minutes of training. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, man. That's a lot. That's a lot though. You'll see guys dropping off after 3 rounds, I would say.
Yeah.
Not everybody,
and
but
I mean,
guys
obviously, it has to do with who you're training with.
Yes, yeah.
Because,
100%.
I can train with somebody that's not that good all day long.
Right.
But you get to start getting the grinders on you.
Yeah.
You got to be ready.
Who did I just train? Oh, and I've trained with Andy 1 round.
Yeah.
1 round is like literally like 3 rounds with an average normal person on your level.
Yeah. And
just as far as the pace and the strength.
What's cool about Andy is he's probably my main training partner now. I train with him all the time. But for a while, he didn't work out at all. He didn't lift or anything.
Right. Yeah. Back in the day. Right.
And then I said, hey, man, you got to get to the next level. I hate to say it. You got to do some working out. Yeah. And he's an athletic guy anyways. Yeah. And I just said, hey, go do a bunch of pull-ups. And then the next day do a bunch of push-ups and dips. And then the next day do some squats. Mm-hmm. And he's okay. He started doing it, and in a month, man, he was a different dude.
Yeah.
And now he started powerlifting, so he's
Yeah.
even morphing a little bit more. But he's won some big tournaments.
Yeah.
He's got some game for sure.
He did good in the Challengers League, Metamorphs Challengers
Yeah.
League. I think he took like second.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
He's a great
Good guy,
training
too.
partner.
Yeah, it's funny. He was. I noticed that where he was always athletic and stuff, and then one time I hadn't seen him for not that long, but maybe
Yeah.
like 4 weeks.
It didn't take him long.
I was like, "Hey, what did you do? Because you look way different right now." And he was like, "Oh, I just changed my eating. I don't eat like whole containers of Nutella anymore." It's like, oh, okay, gotcha. But yeah, the guy's animal. But yeah, that's it.